Hey, this is Joe Stanley, your next senator from Tennessee, District 9, and I'm just here to say another big inspiration for me was Andrew Jackson. He is, of course, from Tennessee, and big inspiration because he was the one person in America who ended the banks, in his presidency. And as a senator, I will do all I can to continue that legacy. And, I've done a lot of studying on Andrew Jackson and currency and paper money and inflation. And I see, how corrupt the paper money system can actually be. We see inflation happening, and it affects everything. It affects your gas prices, it affects your energy prices, it affects your food prices, it affects everything, the money you have. I want to give you more money. I believe we should move away from the paper system. Even Jesus himself fought against the money changers and the people who were, manipulating currency. And we have a lot of that going on. And a few people shouldn't be able to have so much power over people's lives, over people's fortunes, over the money people make. I feel we need to move away from this paper currency, and I will continue that tradition. As your next senator, I will stand to help bring an end to this, to bring the final end to the bankers, to bring the final, hey, we can move away from this system. We can get away from this. We can do something better. We can have cheaper food prices. We can have cheaper energy. It's just a lot of people in power, they like things the way they are because they're making money off of it. And they're controlling people's lives through it. And so we need to bring an end to this, And as your next senator, that's what I hope to do. I hope to fight for you. I hope to, end this currency wars that we have going on. There should be a standard, and we need to change this. We need to end it. We can do better. We can be better. We can all have more money in our pockets. We can all, have a better life all together. And the future is us. The future is the people. The people will rise. The people will stand. And they need good leaders that stand with them. The people need somebody on their side. Because too many of these politicians are actually against the people. They don't have the people's best interests. They have their own selfish, greedy interests. And that's all they care about. All they care about is taking over the world or whatever their agenda is. But that's not my agenda. I'm not here to take over the world. I'm not here to, be a ruler or anything like that. I'm here to make people's lives better. I'm here to give people a better life, a better future, and we can do better. And we should expect more from our politicians, and I'm going to be that politician that's going to stand for the people. My life and my fortune are to the people of this wonderful earth and this wonderful country and the wonderful state of Tennessee. So, I'm going to continue the legacy of Andrew Jackson. We're going to make sure those banks are at least brought into check or something. You know, because none of us are going to be able to afford to live here pretty soon at the way they keep printing money and inflating things and all this kind of stuff. So things need to change. We need to do better. We can be better and support a senator that'll make it happen. Thanks.